looking for love and success, just striving to be the best, better than yesterday. Do I stand out from the rest? And my
Good evening. Good evening. We are on day 4 of our health and wellness program. And today we have instructor Joel Bunch. He's going to introduce himself and he's going to tell us a little bit about what are some of the exercises that we can do to just keep ourselves fit and healthy. And Joel, take it away.
What is going on, guys? This is Joel Bunch, Joekaratepro, JKP. As you guys know, welcome to the Fitness and Monroe Alumni Association. It's a pleasure and honor to be a part of Monroe College, and we're able to give back to the community, especially during these hard times and during COVID, where a lot of people are losing their life. A lot of health issues are going on, and this is what Anne Marie had put together, and she got all the instructors together to just bring out the best of us, to bring the best out of you guys. So I'm going to be the exercise guy. So there's a couple things. I'm very basic, very, very basic, because basics and the fundamentals is going to take you far. So I'm going to kind of move around a little bit so you guys can bear with me. So you guys are not going to see my face, but not too much, but I want you guys to see the physics and the mechanics of push-ups, squats, and obviously core. And obviously I have a barbell, so we're going to do some barbell movements that we can actually do to implement. Even if you don't have that, we can always adjust. Cool. So ladies and gentlemen, let's start with our foundation. Our foundation is our legs, right? Without our legs, we won't be able to function properly. So a lot of people squat, so I want to work on the squat, okay? So the squat, right? Obviously in this position, I'm obviously going to bring it down a little bit so you guys can see. So you guys see this part, right? So I'm standing regular. Now, once the weight gets a bit heavier, my feet is going to slightly come out a little bit. Now, the foot placement, my hip and everything, right? So from here, I'm gonna come on the side. So like I said, I'm already in the position that I'm in. My hips and my glutes is gonna shoot back as if I'm sitting in a chair. Okay, perfect example. I have a chair right here. If you can't, actually these, I call these the granny squats, but actually much harder than doing a regular squat because you're at a stop, right? So I'm here, my hips and my glutes is gonna sit back. I'm at a stop. So now imagine if I had weight. Now my core is relaxed, everything is relaxed. Now I gotta somehow have a spring to power back up. That's what makes a box squat or granny squat harder. But I'm using this just to work on the form and fundamentals. Because if you could do a box squat, you could do a regular squat. So again, my core is tight, I brace, I look straight ahead, I push my hips and my glutes back, my back is still slanted in a 45-degree angle, and I come back and I sit, I still keep my core tight, I still brace, okay? You wanna keep your core tight bracing. We're gonna talk about the center in a second, and we come back up, okay? So we did it with the box, now we're gonna do regular. Thing is, we, as kids and babies, we know how to squat perfectly. But as we get older, we tend to forget, we overemphasize, we overthink it. So, same idea. So you don't have anything to support, right? So I'm gonna do the same exact thing. I'm coming down and I shoot back up. Now, we can go all the way down below parallel, but if we have weight, it'd be unnecessary and too hard, but it's good sometimes. But we should just sit right here, just right here. That's a good squat and power up, same idea. Okay, we can sit all the way down, but you are relaxing the knee. So I'm gonna show you guys so you guys can see. So if I'm going all the way down, my knee is too relaxed. That's the thing. Now, if I sit like this, I'm perfectly fine. But to get back up, it's the same thing. Then that chute comes up. Okay, so the squat is a full body exercise, guys. A full body exercise. You're not only just using your legs, you're using your core, you're using your upper back, you're using your arms, you're using your neck, you're using every part of your body to get that squat up. A lot of people are very underdeveloped, especially for men and women, you know, in a regular gym setting, because their hamstrings are underdeveloped. Sometimes maybe, you know, maybe they have quad strength, or they think because their calves are big that their calves are developed. No, a lot of people don't strengthen their glutes. Or if they do work out their glutes, they forget their hamstrings. Hamstrings are a small muscle. It's just like the bicep, but the hamstring is a big part of every single lift. Big part of a squat, big part of a bench, and a big part of your deadlift. So a squat is a fundamental basic. If you cannot squat, do not do anything else until you know how to master a squat. Okay. Now we're gonna kind of, like I said, I'm gonna go back and forth. So now I'm gonna have my my little barbell. Like I said, now I'm gonna implement those exercises as to why. So we have three variations of a squat. I mean, we have so many variations, but I'm gonna get the chair. So we have so many. So we have a front squat, we have a low bar squat, we got a high bar squat. Now they all hit the same thing, but it's a bit different. Okay, so you guys can see in the middle. Okay. All right, so I'm still using now I'm using the chair. So we have a front squat, right? Actually, you guys can't see. Hold up. You guys just need to see up top first. So we have a front squat, which is the bar is in front, you know, as close as possible. Okay. We have a high bar squat, which is sitting on top of the trap. You guys can see right here, and then we have a low bar squat, which is sitting on your upper middle back and your traps right there. Your traps is you're squeezing, you're keeping it nice and tight. Okay, so those are three variations of squats. Now, obviously, we have lunges and stuff, but it still sits in the same position as a high or a low bar. Okay, so and to demonstrate, okay, I'm gonna get the weight. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna do a back squat. Oh, you guys can't see. Okay, all right, we got it. So here, so now I'm doing a box squat. So my core is tight. I sit back. Now I have to come up here. Same thing with a front squat. So the weight is in front. You know, obviously this is not my favorite position. Usually I have a special bar to help, but same thing. Down, up, okay? And obviously we have a high bar, right? It sits here, down, and up. Now those three variations, the front squat is very hard, very difficult because it's in front of you now. You're using all of your core. See, you're not using so much of your lower back, but you're using so much of your quads. You're still using the glutes, the hamstrings. It's all in front of you. So if you squat, for example, say you squat 700 for a back squat, you should probably be able to do like a 600 or 620 front squat because of the difference. A high bar squat, you're gonna squat a little bit lesser because the bar is up top. So you're not gonna, it's gonna try to shift you up front. But all of these variations is good to hit the same muscles in different ways of the body. Core, like I said, so now I'm going to get into your center, right? So core is very important. Like I said, you could basically, all I'm saying is you need a full strong body to function. If you don't have a full strong body, you're going to have to work on certain points. Now we're going to work on the center. I'm going to actually sit down for this one because you guys know how to do crunches and sit-ups. So we're going to kind of discuss that. So, and obviously in your lower back, right? So a lot of people, we got to make sure our center and our lower back, because that's the whole center of our bodies is strong. So we have good mornings. I will demonstrate that. Actually, I can demonstrate a seated good morning. I'm going to demonstrate a standing good morning. There's different stance variations of good mornings, which is going to strengthen your lower back. See, a lot of us, we use our lower back instead of strengthening our lower back. And that's also going to help our core. With core exercises, you could do leg raises, leg holds, crunches, sit-ups, oblique holds, things like that. Switch it up. Maybe do like a baseball throw, things like that in that nature. Doing your crunches, working out the core, holding a plank, things like that, scissors. So I'm going to demonstrate a very simple good morning. This is seated and this is standing. And then I'm going to show the feet movement. So I'm actually sitting, right? I'm already sitting in my position that I'm supposed to be in. All I'm going to do is bend forward. I'm going to do is now I'm going to bend forward and bend back. Okay? This is creating mobility and flexibility and come back. Okay, that's the seated good morning. For that, also a standing good morning. Okay. So a standing good morning, I'm going to show the feet position in a second. So a standing good morning, I normally don't use a straight bar for any of this. You know, maybe like once in a while I use like I said, it's a special bar, you know, once in a while, but straight bar I wouldn't use for good mornings, but you can use what you have. I will sit this a little bit lower as if you're doing a low bar squat. Now again, same thing with this, same thing like a squat or whatever, or deadlift. You're gonna push the hips and the glutes back, and you're gonna lean forward, keep your core tight. You're gonna feel a load in the hamstrings and a load in your lower back, and keeping your core tight as well, which is gonna work all of that. Okay. So that's the center. That's your lower back, and that's the center. Now there's small problems. Like for example, a lot of people have knee problems. That's because they lack hamstring and calf. They don't do a lot of calves and they don't do a lot of hamstring work. And there's no excuse as to, oh, my calves don't grow. If there's variations, we have, which I'm going to show in a second, we have hamstring curls. You could do bands. A lot of band work helps. Banded hamstrings, seated band hamstrings help. Regular hamstrings, it's called the inverse, but if you don't have the machine, you can go on the floor. Like I said, I'm going to show you some of them. I don't have like my bands with me right now, but I can show you a few steps. Obviously, I'm going to go back and show you the foot placement for the good mornings. So I'm going to bring it down real quick. So perfect example. When you put it in this plane. Okay, so like I said, if you get a band, right, and you place it on something, you can come up, curl down. These are seated hamstring curls. You can do those as well. For that, obviously there's the old way, you know, you can do a lay down hamstring curl, and there's also a a hamstring curl that's very difficult, but is very beneficial for your calves and your hamstrings. Obviously, if you want to do some calf raises while you're sitting, calf raises while you're standing, you could definitely do that. Okay, so now we're going to get into the inverse curl for the hamstring. So I'm going to lay on the floor. Okay, you're just going to watch from this position. So I'm laying regular. I'm laying on the floor, right, as if I'm going to do, you can even do a regular hamstring curl with bands like that. But, for example, my hands is going to be here. Now, my hamstrings, I'm going to sit in this position. Now, I'm going to slightly push off. Sorry, my feet are going to be here. I'm going to slightly push off and curl, okay? Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. So, you want to feel the hamstrings? Actually, I just kind of worked out today, so I did them. So, I'm going to keep it here. So, slight push off and tight. Slowly come down. One more time, slight push off and come down, okay? Those are different variations for the hamstrings and the calves, okay? Now, for, like I said, for the foot placement for the mornings, so if I'm doing a good morning, I can do a good morning in a deadlift position, which is I'm very conventional. So my deadlift is going to be here. If I'm doing good, I can do a squat deadlift, a squat good morning here, like this, or I can have it wider, also as if I'm doing a big, massive squat. So there's different variations for those. Okay. I've always said this, but I've always said this. Women should work out with their upper bodies, but men do it more because it's much easier. But women should do it too because it's going to help. Push-ups. Now, doing a push-up, right? Imagine yourself against the wall, okay? Right? I'm here, hold up. I'm right here. Pushing forward.
So what happened?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't start my video because you stopped. They said the host stopped it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right, so we're in a push. We're in a push position. You're gonna push out. So a proper push-up, you're gonna work your front delts, the back of your delts, upper back, triceps, a little bit of buys. You're gonna work your pecs and your core. Okay, that's gonna help develop all of those muscles. Now, anything out here, definitely no good for the rotator cuff. You're not gonna get as much tricep work. You're going to destroy your shoulders. You're not gonna work out your back. If anything is above here, you're not working anything. Everything is up top. Like I said, your rotator cuff is coming out. Think of a punch. So a push and a punch are the same thing. So it's the same thing as a push-up. If you can't do push-ups if you're not able to do push-ups on the floor at the moment, you can go on the wall and do wall push-ups. Okay, obviously we have modified, but again, you got to build your core. You got to keep the core and your lower back strong because doing a push-up requires core strength, and eventually it will create leg drive once you get fatigued. But yeah, so that's all for today, guys. Like I said, let's keep it very basic. And if you have access to pull-ups, you can do some pull-ups, or you can do some floor pulls where you can go on the floor and drag yourself on the floor, come back up, just working that motion as if, for example, like somebody in a horror movie, right? They fall and they look forward. So same idea. You want to come on the floor and you want to push. You're going to drag up. It's like judo. Judo, we do like drills where we go on the ground and we pull ourselves up. So that's one variation. And if you have a pull-up bar, you can use that. If you're not strong enough, you can use bands. And if somebody's able to help you too, to help assist you as well. So thank you guys for joining JKP. Please send a review. And thank you, Anne Marie, for this. And I'll see you guys.
Thank you, Joe, for that session. We really appreciate it. And we will see you back in a week or two. I do have a question. So just for every day, what are some basic things that a person could do every day just to kind of like, just feel a little bit limber when they wake up in the morning?
Stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Stretching is very important, like warming up. I don't think even stretch. I don't believe in stretching every day because it can still be a form of exercising.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of like I said, it's a how you feel game.
Okay.
It's basically how you feel. But like I said, like maybe once or twice a week if you're, like I said, obviously if you're gonna train, like if you're in the training mode, you do stretch whatever. If you know you're recovering, kind of fall back even from stretching. You could stretch here and there a little bit, but it becomes an exercise. But just resting in general, just sometimes just not doing anything is really beneficial. Or is even better if you have somebody stretch you.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you so much for the session today, and we will see you back in 2 weeks.
You're
Thank you,
officially
guys.
JKP.